Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Secret report reveals controversial NSW Rail Corporation told to reframe its battered image by Matt O'Sullivan and Adele Ferguson. June 15, 2022, 4:18 p.m. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size, 0. Leave a comment. The same PR company that advised the country's big banks on how to repair their battered image after a string of scandals has recommended the state's controversial rail corporation rebrand and change its name. Internal documents show the government-controlled transport asset holding entity, TAR, also plans to spend $34.5 million on consultants over 4 years. The NSW government has previously been under fire for spending millions of dollars on consultants to advise on TAR. A confidential report by PR firm Secretary Newgate shows it has been advising TAR on ways to reframe its reputation after consistent negative media and political attention last year. The transport asset holding entity controls billions of dollars worth of the state's rail assets, including trains and stations. Credit: Stephen Stewart. It followed a Herald investigation that revealed the government set up the corporation in 2015 to artificially boost the NSW budget by billions of dollars by shifting rail expenses into a shell entity. The investigation triggered a parliamentary inquiry and prompted former Auditor General Tony Harris to call TAR a vehicle of deception. The government was forced to write down the value of TAR by $20 billion and inject billions of dollars into the rail corporation late last year. Secretary Newgate was advising the entity to perform strongly in potentially hostile public set pieces, including the parliamentary inquiry, the release of TAR's annual report and budget estimate hearings. Shifting public perceptions in this difficult public affairs environment will be challenging and will require focus and consistency over the 3-year period of the strategy, and beyond, Secretary Newgate's report says. The parliamentary inquiry recommended in April this year that TAR be dismantled due to the risks it poses to the state budget and the safety of the railways. In the strategic report obtained by the Herald, Secretary Newgate urges TAR to consider renaming itself once it has established its corporate narrative by next year, and enough time has passed since the parliamentary inquiry. Secretary Newgate believes this is an appropriate timing for TAR to consider renaming and refreshing its brand identity, once it has a more established track record and is freer from allegations of spin-over substance, says its report, which was completed in December. The Prairie firm recommended TAR develop a compelling narrative and thought leadership program. This would include TAR Chief Executive Benedict Collin aiming to complete 2 keynote addresses, an opinion piece and/or an exclusive media interview this year. It listed a series of targets for management, including 2 proactive media stories and 4 LinkedIn posts each month, and hosting 2 significant project-related events that would include key stakeholders such as the NSW Premier and the media this year. Other recommendations include priority CEO meetings and a list of specific journalists to target, ranging from those at the Australian Financial Review, the Australian and This Masthead to 2 GB, the ABC and 2Day FM. To demonstrate community value, Secretary Newgate also outlined a program that provides access to TAR's assets for community use. For example, community street art competitions, and a Tidy Stations Award, the report states. NSW Shadow Treasurer Daniel Mukay credit: Michael Koch. Shadow Treasurer Daniel Mukay said the government had spent a fortune hiring spin doctors to cover up their mistakes. TAR wouldn't need a battalion of highly paid PR flacks if it wasn't burning a hole in the state's finances, he said. A TAR spokeswoman said the corporation periodically used consultants for project-specific advice and expertise. TAR operates with a lean team, which means at times, external expertise is required to be brought in, she said. She said there were no plans to change TAR's name. In 2017, consultants from what was then Newgate advised the country's banks on ways to restore their image and stave off a royal commission after a string of scandals, including financial planning rip-offs and dud life insurance policies. Later that year a royal commission was called. Secretary Newgate declined to comment. Our breaking news alert will notify you of significant breaking news when it happens. Get it here. Thank you for reading the Herald. This article is complimentary. Register or log in now to read more articles and unlock extra benefits. No payment required. Read more. Continue with Google, continue with Apple, or email address continue by continuing. You